Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up, y'all? Aquí, el Cuatro Vientos. Salud, carnal. Maybe I'm going to be changing my profile from AKA Crypto Keeper. I do the research so you don't have to Ángel, el Cuatro Vientos. Or El Gallito de la Sierra. I still like that one. Anyhow, I can call myself whatever I want because I'm just calling myself. So, coming to you again, right here, just hitting the pavement, trying to do my thing. Trying to stay focused, trying to keep the mind fresh, keep it thinking, keep the fresh ideas moving forward. I want to chat with you on a conversation I had with my kids just the other day. We were talking about something very important, and I do Bible study with my kids on Thursday. So every Thursday I get with my kids and I do a quick Bible study. So in the Bible study, though, we talk about money, we talk about questions they have. You know, I always start with, if Jesus Christ was here right now next to you, what kind of question would you have for him? If God was able to speak to you like he spoke to Moses and many other prophets, what would you ask him? Or what is it that you would want for him to tell you? Is kind of the questions I start with my son and my daughters. Sometimes they don't really like doing the Bible studies, but I don't care. It's my job to raise my kids in the way of the Lord, and I'm making sure I do that. So why does this have to do anything with someone who is investing in crypto? Well, I think it makes you for a wise person, a blessed person. And if you have the covering and the armor of the Lord, it makes for a person to be safe and understand that things can happen, and when they do, you're going to need something to clean on to make you strong, to keep you going. Why do you think there is still so much suicide in our communities? People of color are suffering from depression, oppression, and you name it, just suffering, struggling, can't even get out of their bed and do a jog or a walk or push themselves on a wheelchair on the side of the road, because they are struggling mentally, physically, spiritually with so many things. They feel bound and they can't move. So it's my job to make sure I'm having conversations with my kids. I'm raising my kids the way I feel they're going to need to be raised, so that they can become strong young ladies, strong young men, because I have girls and boys, so that they can battle every single war that comes their way, whether it be spiritual, physical, mental, whatever comes their way. They're going to handle it like daddy handles it. So I'm a strong believer that you got to educate your children. Don't let the schools educate your children. Don't let other people influence your children. You know, we were having a debate with my wife about the way my teenage daughter is allowed to dress. She doesn't get to pick her clothes. She doesn't get to dress unmodest, you know, and I'm very strict about dressing modestly, because I believe a lady has to protect her virtue. And I go to theme parks sometimes. I take my kids, and you probably are the same way. And I ain't talking bad about you if you're one of those parents where you just can't control or have no control over your teenage children's decisions about how they dress and how they look at public. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not making this a video about putting those people down. I'm just saying what I do for my family, because this is the expectation we have in our home. So we were debating about some of her clothing, and I said, no, absolutely not. She's not going to go out to public dressed in those shorts, in that tank top. She's going to wear a bra. She's going to put on a modest shirt, polo shirt, and she's going to wear appropriate shorts. She ain't going to go on public like that. And even though my daughter and my wife had a position, I have to respect them as women. And, you know, my daughter's getting independent thinking, and that's what she feels is appropriate, you know, very skimpy clothes. Well, I had to teach her and tell her, you know, when you grow up and you're out this home, I'm not going to be able to have that much more control about what you wear. So at that point, you could dress however you want. You could walk the streets naked if you want. You know what they do with those people? They pick them up. So anyhow, all I'm saying is I'm shaping my children's mind by giving them the things that I think they need now, so that later they can reflect on that, because I'm not going to be around forever. So it is my position as a parent, as a father, to be a certain way, to teach them the things that I think they're going to need, because that came from somewhere. Wanting to dress like that wasn't because she was born with that thinking, oh, I'm going to have to, like, you know, show my boobs and let my nipple be seen across, being seen through those tank tops. And I'm going to wear these shorts that are very cheeky so that my butt can hang out and others can just salivate while I'm walking, because she's a very beautiful young lady. I said, absolutely not. And that's how I told her. I said, you're not going to represent the family name like that. There's honor in this name, and there's respect in this name. And if you don't have those two things, then maybe you ought to consider about changing your last name. That's what I told her. So if she wants to make that decision, because she's very thoughtful for her own self, she wants to be very independent, and I respect that. I want her to be, but I want her to be independent with the right mindset. So I share that because I'm just a human being, just like you. I'm dealing with these things ongoing. And so I'm just pouring out my life so that you learn something from it. Because at the end of the day, as mad as she was, there's been days where my young daughter, my teenage daughter, is doing things that are very respectful. And I also remind her of that. And I tell her and I praise her. Hey, Jay, you know, beautiful, honey. You're the way you carry yourself, the way you're responsible, the way that I can trust you is these things. You've been proving yourself. So very good, honey, very good. So anyhow, it's not all about being just a brute or being hard all the time. I also have to show love, and I have to balance that out as best as I could. So I think I'm doing a fine job as a father. I think I'm doing a fine job as a husband. Let me talk about that a little bit. Husbands. I hear all kinds of people with a lot of wealth talking about, you know, I got my money, she's got her money, and then we got we money. And as much as I want to agree that those are good plans for, I guess, certain types of marriages, that's not the way I handle my finances. Now, I love my wife, and at any given time, my wife could leave me. She could be gone. She's a beautiful woman. But I'm not scared of that. And so we don't have a prenuptial agreement. I've talked to my attorney and I said, no, I don't need one. I don't want one, because I know how to make money. I know how to make investments. I am that smart, that wise, that confident that if my wife left me with nothing, it's happened before, I'll pick myself back right up. So I'm independent like that, but I doubt it can happen. It always happens. I've seen it happen. You know, you're just kind of like, what? So-and-so left so-and-so? No way. I have maybe something personal. I won't say no names. It's happening right now in an immediate family member where they've been married for a long time, and it was very emotional. He's a well-off guy, very smart. I respect him. He's my brother-in-law. They just recently filed for divorce. And it was, you know, I was kind of like, I kind of figured why, you know, well, I don't want to say more about that because I'm gonna get in trouble. But anyhow, it happens, and when it happens, it's no one's control. So yes, finances are involved. Yes, who's taking care of who's involved. All of that you got to consider. So, I personally don't feel like I have to have prenups on something like that. It's just not something that I care to set up. If my wife leaves me and she takes everything, I'll start right back up. I won't even lawyer up, to be honest with you. There's no need for me to do that. So, long story short, why do these things matter? Does it make you a better investor? I think so. I think it makes for a great investor. Now, I'm right here in Central California. I live nearby. I used to live in a ranch. I just sold my ranch a year and a half ago for top money. I'm an investor because I love investing, and so my family, we're constantly moving, we're constantly making moves. But you know, let me tell you one thing why I like the Central California. I was born and raised here. My relatives, my father, my mother, they worked in the fields. You're looking at a citrus tree. You don't get this in certain parts of the world or even certain parts of the country. So the smell in the morning and the evenings in the summer, man, it just gives you life. It smells good. I have lemon trees and orange citrus trees planted in my property. And I make, you know, just organic teas out of the leaves and things like that. I'm El Cuatro Vientos. I live off the land, and I'm making better choices about that. So anyhow, I'm in the grove right here, just showing you a little bit about the valley, the Central Valley. Everywhere you turn, there's groves everywhere. It's a great place to live. Anyhow, let me get right back into it. So talking about what I just mentioned, the few things. Why do these things have anything? Why do they have anything to do with a good investor, being a great investor? Of course they do. You know, these things shape you for being smart, for thinking. You know, if I love my family, then I ought to be wise and smart about making investments, and so that whatever I do benefits my family as well. It's not all about Angel. It's not all about just me. I have a family, I have kids, I have my wife, I have them to think about, and so it's about them as well. Everything I do affects them in a positive or negative way. So I got to be careful about that too. So in looking at the market and looking what I'm going to do here in this next few moves has been very debatable with my wife. You know, I talk to her all the time about my plans of doing this, of doing that, and quite honestly, man, I got to take this hat out. I'm burning up right here. Quite honestly, I think that her wisdom as well is well respected with her influence in my life, because here's the thing. One of the things that I've been debating is taking a lot larger position in crypto. I've been talking about really enhancing and making those positions a little harder. So it's one of those things where I want to make sure that I invest a little harder, a little higher, a little more in some of these cryptos. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to come back and do another video and tell you exactly what more I can do to be able to increase my bags by increasing my savings on a monthly basis. I've been talking to my wife about cutting a few more things, and those are the strategies that I use. I cut the fat off of the things that I don't need in my life so that I can invest more in crypto. So you all have heard my story. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use drugs, I don't spend money unwisely. I use strategies for spending my money. Go back to my videos and check those out. Aquí el Gallito de la Sierra, aka Crypto Keeper. Maybe we'll use Cuatro Vientos every now and then. Thank you, boss, for sharing that with me. Drop a comment, inspire me just as much as I'm trying to inspire you. Peace. El Kikiri Keeks checking out.